Think book.
There is a to think list that gives us an opportunity to make sure that we pause for just a moment and add things to there that we want to dive a bit deeper on, that we want to ponder and put our brain cells around.
This book very interestingly starts with a think list and it goes to a thank list. And I think that's the whole purpose of it.
The Think Book is actually the perfect place to get the creative juices flowing, write down, take notes, and figure out your thought processes and make things happen. I love this book.
Discipline of retrospection by doing the to thank list.
Wholeheartedly recommend it.
Highly recommend it.
I definitely recommend it.
I highly recommend the Think Book. Get your copy.
Technology has seen an immense growth in recent times, and during COVID, this has even got a whooping height. And a lot of business owners and entrepreneurs have started launching their online platforms for selling and for a lot of other reasons. I do have a very special guest with us today, Nidhi Jain. She is founder of Positively Perfect. And that's a very beautiful business she is running. And she has recently launched her website also. So it is great to have her today for discussions and to know like her experience about starting Positively Perfect as an online business. Welcome, Nidhi. Thank you very much for being available today for this call, and you're welcome.
Thank you, Ashish. You know, the best part is that after being 20 years in business, you called a startup, which is amazing.
So startup is.
No, I didn't tell you that, but you know, like whenever I tell anybody, oh, we just launched our website, and then they say, oh, so you're a startup, and I was like, yeah. So you feel young. So yeah, but yeah, Positively Perfect is an offshoot of Pinnacle, and yeah, we just went live in Jan for the e-commerce store.
That's really awesome, and in fact, just coming back to that startup thing. So I mean, that's something which is a lot of people feel proud of calling them as startups, and yeah, okay. So Nidhi, can you please share a bit of background and the kind of legacy in business you have, and the way like Positively Perfect has been growing over all these years. So a little more details about your background as a businesswoman and about Positively Perfect.
Sure. Thank you, first of all, Ashish, for inviting me. I'm really happy to share my experience here. So it's almost 20 years back that I started Pinnacle, where we sell recognition products. So we are a product design and a manufacturing company. And from the very beginning, I can't put my finger to it, but I really always wanted to make it very easy for my customers to buy my products. And that was what my relationship with sort of technology sort of started it very much in the beginning with Pinnacle. And then after 20 years almost, we just recently launched Positively Perfect, which is an offshoot of awards and recognition, because this is all about inspirational gifts which make somebody else the best version of themselves. Like you gift it to your customers, or you buy it for yourself, or you gift it to your team members to encourage them to be their best, to become their best, to do more. And that's the reason why I launched Positively Perfect. Quite honestly, my life has got transformed with attending seminars and learning from books and learning from thought leaders. And a very profound thing that they say is that the environment around you, sort of, if that changes, that's how the change comes in you. Because even if you go with a positive mindset and everything around you is all negative, sooner or later you will all again sort of come
Agreed.
down. So,
Yeah, yeah.
but if the environment around you is positive and you are positive, it's like a give and take relationship. So
Mhm.
only environment can't do anything, only you can't do anything. And that's what we want to do with Positively Perfect, is bring that positivity in the environment around people.
Awesome, awesome. And during all my meetings with you, I've always sensed this, and this is really great to know when you have expressed this in the words for probably for the first time. So it's really great. Yeah. And so Nidhi, like, what do you think had been the biggest strength for Pinnacle during your journey as an entrepreneur?
Okay, I have to say it is the team members in
Mm-hmm.
terms of I, it's not just the team members individually, but it is the role that each one of them plays to
Mm-hmm.
keep how seamlessly the business model works, because we are in a hyper personalized business. So if we like last year we shipped 1,20,000 awards.
Oh,
Each of them was personalized. Each of them had like they were made for different customers, so it was all they're pretty different. um, so that's how our work is very very personal. And yeah, that's what it happens in Pinnacle.
so so like that's one thing. But then like um, so you're an influential uh, businesswoman within a lot of prestigious platforms. We share one together, so you carry a different aura, and that's ostensibly visible also. So, like, what had you been doing during all these times to be there where you are right now, as an individual and as an organization? So, uh, like, what were those stepping stones initially, and then how did the growth happen, all those kind of things?
Oh my God, that's a very big line that you're saying. But I think the biggest difference for me, it is the constant journey of learning. Uh,
Beautiful.
because I started my business when I was just 19 years old, and there wasn't any formal education. My father passed away suddenly, so I was just given the business, and we just had to figure out what to do. So it was all learning on the fly, and I failed miserably. Like, I can't tell you how much I failed. Uh, but that time I realized that a lot of my learning, I don't know how or why, that really I got it from the books. Uh,
Mhm.
I don't know why I resorted to that, but I did, and I'm so glad I did. So for me, it was like, okay, let me learn from this, and let me. So I read a lot, and I listen to a lot of seminars. I attend a lot of training sessions, and I also attend a lot of classes. Like every year, I would take about 3-4 weeks off to learn a
Mhm.
new art form, which I would work with my hands. So that's it. Learning from others is one of the keys, I would say.
Okay. And I love the products what you make under Positively Perfect's umbrella. And one of those which is your recent launch, the epically, how do you pronounce that? So
Oh my
uh,
God.
yeah, and I recently had a look at your launch video also. I mean, that's such an amazing animation, I would say. So now
Just
the kind of
1 minute.
products. Yeah, sure.
Can I tell you, since you are from the technology field, um, that animation what you saw was
Hmm.
actually a tech hack.
Tech hack means what?
A tech hack means usually a
A tech hack.
animation
Okay.
hack,
Uh-huh.
a
Okay.
technology hack.
Okay.
Usually, animation, you would expect that you have to hire somebody, pay a lot of money, and that's how you can get the such nice looking animation, right?
Indeed.
But the interesting thing is that the technology moves so fast. Maybe 4 years back it was impossible to do that, but the video that a lot of people are seeing and everybody's like raving about it, it took me less than 10 minutes to make,
Don't
and
tell
I
me.
made it.
Oh
Yes.
my God. You guys are going to take our jobs, I think, huh?
No. It is nothing to do. See, there are certain things which you can get outsourced, and it is a certain level, like 5-10 seconds. Those how do I say that? That those spurts of magic, those popcorn moments.
Uh-huh.
But for you doing the real serious work, like for example, when you have to develop an application, you can't do the DIY versions.
Oh
You know,
yes. Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
the thing is that the level of content that you have to put out there in the social
Mm-hmm.
media is so much that you
Mm-hmm.
have to get into the templates, you have
Mm-hmm.
to get into some DIY version, and for some of the serious stuff, some of the bigger stuff, you have to rely at experts. You can't do, it's not absolute 100% DIY karo, 100% experts पे जाओ, ऐसा नहीं कर
दोनों
सकते,
नहीं
you
हो
can't do
सकते हैं.
that.
Yes, you can't do
Right,
any one of
right.
those.
You
Yeah.
need to make sure.
Yes, yes, yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes, yes.
Yeah, you're right. And so, like, coming back to the question, like, so the kind of products you make, that is one
Yes.
which are not like they do not encourage too much of technology for the kids. And while you're adopting technology, so it's a kind of like for you as an individual, it's a kind of gel of the two things. Like you're selling something which take kids away from their mobile screens, and at the same time you're giving parents a platform to buy those stuff online, and that's a beautiful idea, I would say, an excellent gel of two things. But then how is it going on? So you're devoting time on both the sides, uh, looking at the technology side of it, and then still thinking out the innovative ideas which are not related to technology at all. So kind of that gel. So let's talk about that.
Okay, so for my end, how I look at it is that I look at the technology as a solution. So this is for me, true for
Mm-hmm.
me. I use technology to solve problems.
Mm-hmm.
I don't use technology to create products.
Mm-hmm.
So products I am doing for which are creative, which are inspirational, but I use technology to make, how can I make my products reach my customer better? How can I make that experience better for them? That's what I use technology for.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Um, and what do you think? Like, would technology take you to? Like, where do you think yourself after 5 years, with the kind of technology you have already adopted, and you'll definitely be including more of the technical stuff in your business. I'm aware of that. So, what do you think? Like, will be the scene after 5 years?
In these current times of COVID, I can't even predict 6 months, let alone 5 years.
Yeah,
But I,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
You're
but
you're,
I
you're
can say
true.
one thing. Yeah, I can say one thing for sure, and I want to really bring on this point that uh, I still remember the first time I paid for a website. So I started my business in 2000, all right,
Mm-hmm.
and we were selling awards and trophies, right? But at that time in our industry, nobody really made websites for their own
Mm-hmm.
products. And
Okay.
even if they did, it was 3-4 pager website. And I'm talking about India in specific. I'm not
Yes.
talking globally, because globally the scene was very different. The e-commerce, like it, not just the e-commerce, but a lot of other things were very vibrant.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so here, but at that time, and maybe 2002 or 2003, um, I think I paid almost a lakh of rupees to get, yes, to
Website.
get my website done. Then
Okay.
after that, I remember I bought a software where I monthly paid maybe 20 or 30,000 rupees to put my, and that was a platform which was developed for the US customers, and we paid, I think, maybe $1,000 or $1,200 to change the dollar sign to rupee, because their
Oh yeah.
software was beautiful. Oh yeah. So why I'm talking about these numbers is because that time when I started the business, I definitely didn't have money to pay for all of this. But the reason I paid is because the software made it easy for my customers to see the product, to make the selection, and for them to really do the sorting in a much better manner.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
And
why I used. Yeah.
yeah, and do you think like every time since you started investing into software, this helped you to stay ahead of your competition?
Exactly. So that's what I was coming to. That I don't really care about what other companies are doing in my industry, because a lot of times what happens is people normally say, "कि अरे दूसरे क्या कर रहे हैं? Let's do that or maybe better it." I don't care. I don't look at what solutions they're doing. I always see, is it going to make it better for? Is it going to make the sales cycle easier for us, or
Mm-hmm.
the customer experience better, or our production better? So for example, now we have a CRM software that we have, it's HubSpot,
Mm-hmm.
by it's
By HubSpot, yes.
very, yeah, very
Yeah.
expensive.
Uh-huh.
But expensive for a company like me. I'm not an MNC. I'm not a, it's a self run entrepreneurial journey, and but we still have licensed models, and we have invested in it because it helps us really categorize our work better,
Leads. Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
and everything.
Yes.
In fact, maybe around 4 years back, I tried to implement an ERP also in my company. That really went bad. So, but I'm not afraid of trying. Like, I think I
Mm-hmm.
lost a lot of money in that. So that was a failure project. But I don't care. I don't stop investing in technology, because uh, that's the key to the future. Not to the future. It's the key to the present.
Yes, indeed, indeed. And
Yeah.
I have experienced this myself also, of you being a bold entrepreneur while thinking around investments into technology. We had an experience together when we started developing a website, but then like though it was all done, but then for having probably a better technology, you decided to reinvest, but then you always wanted to you know, have probably one of the best technology stacks to get positively perfect online. So, by the way, like
Yeah.
we could not really talk much about it during those times, and I was always keen to know, like, what were your specific reasons to go for a product like Shopify for positively perfect? So,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
I think it was the convenience,
Hmm.
and the most important was the speed. So
Good.
Shopify, according to me, is very restrictive, and
Mhm.
nobody's paying me any money to say this, or stuff
Oh,
like
yes,
that. But
definitely. Yeah.
yeah, but Shopify is super, like, the convenience is like cut, 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 and the sale is done. But it's very restrictive when it comes to design, and that really hurts me. I would love,
Mhm.
like, I'm trying to change some of the blog images, and I'm not able to do that in the kind of format. That way, WooCommerce is a very, it's far more beautiful because it looks very pretty and stuff. But so I think every platform has some plus,
Both
some minus,
positives and negatives. Yes, indeed.
both
Yeah, you're right.
positive and negative. What really matters is who is the technology partner you have, and what is your
Mhm.
priority. Because for
Yes.
some companies, speed is not really their priority. Their priority is the design at that
Mhm.
particular juncture. So then that be it.
Yes.
Only thing I'd like to say is that one of my learnings is that don't get into the analysis of paralysis. That don't
Mhm.
just keep analyzing, ye better hai, ye better hai, ye better hai, ye better hai, because I've done a lot of that. So two things that I do: I set an end date where I have to make a decision. And the second thing is I always make the decision when I'm writing down on paper, because otherwise you get so crazy in your head. I remember when I was doing that ERP, so the decision was between SAP, some SAP, which is for small business. I forgot
Mhm.
the name of the software, and the other was Microsoft Navision.
Mhm.
So I really liked the person who was giving us the SAP solution, and I was like
Mhm.
writing all the positives. And the Navision guy was okay. But the Navision software for the inventory was super strong, which was not
Mhm.
available in SAP. And I
Okay.
went with Navision, and it bombed.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Well, yes, I think you rightly said that every solution probably has both positives and negatives. And it definitely depends on the agency also, like the technology partner, and definitely like
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, and there can be n number of reasons for one application to be a good fit for one requirement and may not be that good for yet another customer who, even if he's dealing in the same business, but then the software can be good for one and may not be good for the second one. Yeah.
I would really, really agree with that. And in this also, though, it's very nice to take opinions from other people. What do you think is good? But I think it's important that you, uh, not you, the person, like for your own business, see what is important. What do you want out of that software? And put
Yes.
that down, and then don't be afraid to make those decisions based on that, because um, otherwise you will get lured by all the features, because all softwares, all technology come with so many features. You won't be needing it, but you'll get excited about it.
Oh yes, yeah, that's very true. In fact, most of the times, you no one can actually use 100% of a software. So
Nobody
yeah,
can. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So while we are approaching towards the end of this discussion, Nidhi, I would like you to please share a one-liner advice for the startups who are starting, and what should their their inclination towards adopting technology, irrespective of the domain. So startups who are starting new, what would you like to guide them through this video?
Okay, that's interesting. One thing I'd like to say is that don't get excited about all the new technologies that come in.
Uh-huh.
Study the new technology for sure. Study in the sense you don't have to study everything, you have to run your business.
Sure.
Because so if you keep looking at technology, you're going to go crazy. But
Mhm.
so you should be generally aware about what's available, but never get excited about the features.
Mhm.
Think about, go back and just see what is the problem you want to solve,
Mhm.
and what ultimate outcome that you want. So instead of fitting the technology into your business, instead of fitting your business into the technology, oh, this is so exciting, let me fit it here. How can
Mhm.
my business take advantage of this technology? Instead of
Mhm.
asking that question,
Mhm.
how, it should be the other way around. What does my business need right
Need.
now? Is
Indeed.
there a
Yes.
technology which can help me achieve that better, faster, cheaper? Then you go ahead and do that, and obviously get a very good agency to implement it. Because the biggest trouble, I mean, I'm sorry I'm saying this, but the biggest trouble in this line is that you get technology partners who don't um, who speak very well,
Mhm.
but when it comes
But
to
then the
implementation,
yes,
yeah,
so the output doesn't
maybe
come.
maybe the lead head went, maybe something
Mhm.
else happened, maybe some chain is broken somewhere, who knows? But if they are accommodating, it
Yes,
works. Yeah.
indeed.
So that level is very important, according to me.
Yes, that's a very important point. In fact, so little different from what we were talking about an advice for the startups. The other thing being, I would like to talk a little more about the other thing which you just now said in the end. Being in the software industry, I've learned one special thing is that software is an abstract. So when we both are talking, so if suppose an agency is talking to its customer for developing something, and both say that I want this in red, so both are actually thinking different red. So his
It's
red,
so
yeah. So it is actually the responsibility of the agency, the technical partner, to understand that what she or he is thinking, the customer is thinking, is probably not totally conveyed to me, and the agency should actually produce something tangible to show as soon as possible, and then both the teams have actually got something which is which becomes a platform for discussion and then improve. So that is how probably a beautiful product finally comes out. And one more thing which any software agency must understand is that success of the customer is actual success for the agency. If the customer fails, if the software doesn't come in use, so there is no reason for developing a new version or an updated version of that. So that's an important thing, and thank you very much for bringing that on the surface. Yeah.
No. It's very important because that is so many billions of dollars, according to me, is being burnt just because they either from the very beginning the brief was not clear, or something happened in the middle, or the partner match was not correct. So if you take care, if you have an accommodating, understanding, receptive person at the other side, things
Yes.
change. Things
Definitely.
change. Things
Yes.
definitely work out. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So thank you very much, Nidhi, for your precious time. It was such a nice pleasure talking to you. And
Yeah,
thanks.
sure.
Okay. And thank you. Bye bye.